Abundance, peace, and abundance. So I would like to make this video before it gets too dark. So I want to talk about obtaining your passport, specifically your child's passport, without having a birth certificate. Now, I know everybody has their different opinion on having children and our purpose in having children and a whole bunch of different things. I'm gonna have to do a part two because just as a woman that carry wombs, part of our purpose is to carry a child. But bigger than that, one thing I want to say is that everything is divine. So if you do get pregnant, if you do have a child, then you were literally meant to have that child. Whether it's you can say that's karma. Okay, it can either be good karma or bad karma. It's depending on your perspective regardless though. So whatever is supposed to happen, whatever is destined to happen, the universe is going to allow that to happen. If you have a I don't want to speak on certain things, but whatever happens is literally supposed to happen. That's how it's supposed to be. That's in alignment. That's how it's supposed to be. And again, the karma, it depends on your perspective. And we should take our roles serious because it's not because it's a blessing. It is a blessing and it is honor to have a child, to have another soul come through you and be able to walk the soul through and guide and help this soul on its journey, because it's not just your child, it is another soul going through its own soul journey. But anyways, let me get into the passports. So your birth certificate is basically to say that you were born in the US. So for your child, you would need to basically have proof that your child was born in the US. I'm a list in the comments, I'm a list in the description, I'm a list some other things that you can do, but you can I believe you can report in a newspaper that you had your child, where your child was born, time, and document it within a newspaper. Another thing that you can do is the early months. You don't have to vaccinate your child, but the early months of your child being born is going there, having the doctor document where your child was born, what time, everything like that, getting your child like a checkup for the first few months to prove that your child was born there in the US, because you can still get your passport, you can still get your child's passport without them getting a birth certificate. And that is very important because this is part of generational wealth. This is part of sovereignty. It is very, very important that our star seeds, they're detached from the system as much as possible. That is very, very important, that they are detached from the system as much as possible, as well as us. We need to be sovereign. We need to have as little documentation as possible. We need to get away from the hospitals, away from the school system, because it just doesn't make sense to be a part of a system that has oppressed us. It doesn't make sense to trust a system with our star seeds. It makes no sense to just give our children away like that to the school system, to the hospitals, just to their mental, their mind. It makes no sense to just give them away like that. So it's important that we're protecting them and that we're guarding them emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So again, I'm going to list some other ways that you can get your child's social security number and your child's birth certificate. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to list some ways down below of how you can get your child's passport without the birth certificate and without the social security number, because still it is important that we are getting as close to the sun, as close to the equator as possible as melanated beings, and that we're getting within our natural environment, that we're leaving the US. That should still like be a goal for everybody eventually. But that's it for this video. Like I said, I'm gonna make a part 2, and I can make like a little bit more in-depth videos. Peace.